So about the title? Yes, it absolutely is. But on another note, I may have gone a bit too long with this intro segment here, and I know some of you aren't here for that sort of thing, so please skip to this time code if you want to avoid it. Okay, thank you, enjoy.
So are we all dressed like idiots?
Yeah, but more excitedly.
Okay. Should we go in?
Probably not.
Oh, I'm ready.
Guess I'm just gonna take a look.
Oh, hey everybody, Liam here. I'm sorry for calling you all so late, but please get in here. Now meet your match, villainous foe, because I have assembled the event. Okay, why are all of you Spider-Man?
Well, what other superhero costume did you expect us to find?
Well, actually, that's pretty Hey, wait a minute, your suits are all custom. Why do you all have custom Spider-Man suits?
How do you want better? Why do you have a custom Spider-Man suit?
No idea.
Oh, I made it myself.
Haha, foolish youngins, you are no match
To my power.
Oh no, he's right.
Hey, why is Flat Stanley here anyway?
Well, simply put, when little Simon S. Steps was just 7 years old, he tripped down the stairs. Embarrassed by his mishap, he's vowed vengeance against the whole world by becoming the world's one and only Stay Away Shovel. So look out behind you, kids.
Why did you just do that?
I've had to listen to that for a half hour. I needed to make some use of that information. But it's no use still, Shovel. I got a cassette tape here, some cool colored lights in the corner, and we're ready to kick your butt. Isn't that right?
I'll never be good enough.
Just let him shove us down the stairs. We'll be fine.
Oh, come on, guys. You are some of the strongest people I know. Superpowers or not, I think we can make a difference. Though I must also note, you're some of the only people I know.
Enough devising. You're all going down the stairs and have no clue how to beat me yet.
Okay then, so how do we beat you?
My one true weakness is joy, but you'll never be able to provide that in this situation.
What is something that truly makes me happy?
Alright, I'll grab the camera.
I think I'm just gonna zone out for the next half hour.
So, how are we going to do this, Liam?
Alright, I got it, Mr. Stay Away Shovel. I think it's about time I pull out my secret weapon. My love of a random cartoon you've never heard of!
That's a secret?
Alright, I can stop carrying in 3, 2, 1.
I want to talk about something we all love, or at least we have to live with. Superheroes! They're everywhere nowadays, whether it's in theatrical masterpieces, mediocre cinematic universes, or in the only originals on certain streaming services. Everyone has a favorite. Like me, for example. I'm a Spider-Man boy myself. See, I'm just a big fan of the whole giving teenagers the most ridiculous world-changing responsibilities genre, and Spider-Man is the original in that. As Stan Lee said, he's a teenager with problems. Plus, I'd argue he has a killer consistency in quality films, and the Spider-Verse films in particular are some of my favorites, arguably of all time. These films are all perfect in nearly every aspect. They have these grandiose plots tied down with relatable themes of growing up and responsibilities. They are comically excellent, the soundtrack is filled with bops, the animation is game-changing, and overall, they're just masterfully made love letters to the character as a whole. They're so good, in fact, that they're inspiring me to go and look for more animated Spider-Man media. So let's check out the latest Disney XD. Oh no. So, in case you didn't notice, Marvel's animated lineup has been pretty bad for a while now, and I'm of course gonna blame this on the dirty rat. In 2009, after buying Marvel and launching their equivalent to an extreme boys channel, Disney XD in the same year, Disney decided to move all of their animated Marvel productions under one studio and unified universe. Unfortunately for them, that studio was Marvel Animation, and with their messy production schedules and cheap budgets, it ultimately led to a lot of Disney XD's Marvel lineup being a joke. However, with Marvel dominating the box office and Spider-Verse helping blur the line of animation and comic books, was being a joke truly acceptable even for kids? Marvel Animation knew they could do better, but they couldn't do it alone. They needed a hero, and thankfully for them, some help came in the form of a popular actor and producer, Lawrence Fishburne.
Haha, yes! But who is that exactly?
Lawrence Fishburne, actor, producer, seemingly did some of the Matrix franchise and John Wick. Does that ring a bell?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, let's see then. Well, animation-wise, he was in Osmosis Jones.
The Osmosis Jones.
Well, no, actually he played...
Tee-hee, you think Osmosis Jones will stop me? I scorn Osmosis Jones!
Okay, sure, he's Osmosis Jones.
Yeah!
Boo-hoo-hoo!
Anyways, the Osmosis Jones star was approached by Marvel Studios sometime in 2017 to work on a project. And out of all the ideas discussed, one piqued his interest more than any others. Moongirl and Devil Dinosaur. Moongirl, aka Lunella Lafayette, was initially created for the Marvel Comics by Brandon Moncleo, Amy Riedel, and Natasha Bustos in November 2015. Described as the smartest character in the entirety of the Marvel Universe at just 9 years old, she was able to use her inhuman genes to communicate and even switch minds with Devil Dinosaur, this big red T-Rex who was created back in 1978 by Jack Kirby. As the crew behind the comics stated, Lunella wasn't really a regular cape and tights superhero. Fishbone himself was actually a fan of the original Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur comics, which Moongirl served as a sequel to. So after reading a couple of issues, he was set. He wanted to work with Moongirl and he wanted to do it via an animated series. So in 2018, a Moongirl and Devil Dinosaur series was announced to be in development at Marvel Animation. That's not great. But don't worry yet, dear viewers, as this series still had a few magic tricks up its sleeves. One of those was the process of collaboration. Disney Television Animation is a studio I don't really need to explain. They're responsible for the classic Disney Afternoon, Disney's One Saturday Morning, and the large majority of Disney Channel and Disney XD cartoons. They've made classics like Ducktales, masterpieces like Ducktales, and I guess some other series that don't really matter. Anyways, the series was actually put in development at Disney TVA in collaboration with Marvel Animation, but for 2 years, it was stuck without much of a definitive vision. That was until they brought on Kim Possible alumni and famous question avoider Steve Loader. Steve's team pitched Disney a sequence of Lunella roller skating over the Childish Gambino song Sweatbands, and that was so well received that it was the missing piece that finally got the series picked up. Now, you may be asking, hey, doesn't that song have naughty language in it? Why would Disney approve that? And I would respond, have you seen the version that's featured in the series? Yeah, duh, this was picked up. So finally, in August 2019 at D23 Expo, the series was fully revealed as in production, with concept art, crew info, and a scheduled release date of 2020. And hey, with famous racist Isaac Perlmutter being removed from all Marvel television productions in October 2019, things were looking up for Moongirl. Oh boy, I cannot wait till 2020.
Well, based on the patterns of our conversation about series you like, I can assume it actually released early.
Yeah, it wasn't as missing as Bee and Puppycat was, but oh boy, did they miss their deadline. Unlike that show though, a lot of this seems to be due to actual production times we could easily follow. So let's make this quick. 2020, nothing. Like absolutely nothing, it just didn't show up. Though I think this year might be a bit justified. 2021, in February the cast was announced, which we'll get back to, alongside some new concept art which is adorable. Also it was pushed back to 2022, which was seemingly a long wait, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Then in April, it was announced that Flying Bulk was in charge of the show's animation. Okay, holy crap, let's get this really quick. Flying Bulk is the Australian animation studio who is well known for some of the most smooth action scenes in the market, as seen in shows like Glitch Tech's Rise of the TMNT and Lego Monkey Kid. For them to be working on this show was amazing news. Anyways, in a shocking twist, after that, nothing. That was until December, when we got our first teaser of the series from launch, which looked great, but it was like 2 seconds long and it was also pushed into the summer. Okay then. 2022, we got the looks of the characters in February and these poses will forever be funny to me. Hey, at least the series is still set for summer. In July, it was pushed till 2023. Okay, haha, very funny. But we also got confirmation of Raphael Sadiq working as the music producer. And of course, Comic-Con with a new poster, a first look clip, and a bunch of guest stars. Then in September, we finally got an official release date at D23. February 10th, 2023. That's a lot of 23s, and of course we got a trailer. After that, it was pretty much smooth sailing. No more delays, and we got some more clips, trailers, a Season 2 renewal, the theme song, Funko Pops, Moongirl at Disneyland, a big promotional campaign. Okay, that's a lot, but it's perfectly good for a dramatic introduction. So, with half a decade of development, a big promotional campaign pushing it, and it basically being the only Marvel animation production around nowadays, as apparently according to Hitmonkey and the preschool Spidey show, the studio doesn't exist anymore, did Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur
Aha, foolish enthusiast, you spent too long being sad by delays that my power of shoving is growing.
Hey, you didn't even let me finish my sentence.
Oh, my apologies, I forgot my manners. So fine, chap. What were you saying?
Absolutely yes! Typically when you watch the first episode of a TV show, you have to go in expecting the show still trying to find itself. The humor may be a bit lighter, or the actors are still getting used to their characters, but whatever it is, the show is still finding its footing. To explain what is so good about Moon Girl Landing though is to explain what the whole series does so well, and even that can be explained by just the full sequence. Where You Come From sets up nearly everything you need to know about the series within a minute. It establishes this world by establishing itself within this diverse community, with the animation having little comic book-like flails, like the worlds popping up, the freeze frames, the action moving from left to right, and the track itself is an absolute banger that will definitely get on my Spotify Wrapped. It is everything an establishing scene needs to be. It sets up a vibe that the series holds up crazy well, and I like the characters, I like the soundtrack, I like the
Hey, nerdy lad, real quick, what the hell even is a devil girl?
an alternate version of Lunella from the comics, but if you mean Moon Girl, yeah, I probably should explain that premise real quick. So Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur follows, well, you already knew that part, but primarily it follows Lunella Lafayette, because obviously that's her name, it's a comic book character. Compared to her comic counterpart, she's a bit aged up, now being 13 years old, and the whole Inhuman thing is completely gone. But she still knows how to talk to Devil because she's just that girl, okay? She's also a talented skater, with her family running a local roller rink, but when power outages start to impact the business, she's determined to fix it. So, using blueprints from a mysteriously disappearing scientist named Moon Girl, she builds what she assumes is a power generator, only to discover it's actually a portal generator as the red T-Rex escapes. Got it? Great, because we're still not done. So Lunella tames a dinosaur named Devil, it saves an inspiring influencer named Casey, they discover an electrical lady is stealing all their power, so with Lunella's smarts, Devil's strengths, and Casey's encouragement and branding skills, they decide to become superheroes to save the day. Electrical Lady is defeated pretty easily, by the way.
You're not a real superhero.
You're not a real blonde.
She's really just there for the first episode, and it's more of a villain of the week sort of deal from then on. But before we get to the general episode setup, let's go over our cast of characters. Let's start with Casey, played by Libe Boal. She's a bit of everything in one. Fashion designer and reality TV enthusiast, voice of reason and a go-getter, Puerto Rican and Jewish with 2 dads, but primarily she is Lunella's friend and Moon Girl's publicist. Now, how can she start hanging out with Lou the second Moon Girl shows up while still hanging out with Moon Girl herself and absolutely nobody picks up on that connection is beyond me, but she's still a fun character. She really has a great energy to her that's always fun to watch. Lunella and her work off each other so well, and they already got the cliche sword act breakup of these characters out of the way in both episode 1 and 12, so don't worry about that, just enjoy the vibes. Logically next is Lunella's family, starting with Pops, aka James, played by Gary Anthony Williams. He hasn't had a lot of spotlight yet, one of the only leads not to get their own episode to shine, but he has a passion for roller skating and dog shows that make him generally charming. Also, Gary gets to play one of the funniest recurring villains, so I'm glad he still has something to do.
Why can we never catch that guy? His only superpower is a working car.
Next, let's mention his son and Lunella's dad, James Jr., played by Jermaine Fowler. He's the goofy, wacky dad, but less so in the sitcom bad and competent way, and more so in the just plain goofy, caring dad way. He's a fun character that I enjoy seeing on my television screen. Next, his wife and Lunella's mom, Audria, played by Cecile Zameda. She's the caring, supportive, fierce, and encouraging muzzle figure, and also a DJ? That instantly makes her 10 times cool, and I love the episode she had. And finally, the final family member, Lunella's grandma, Mimi, played by Alpha Woodard. She's your classic good grandmother, being a guiding force for Lunella and supportive while still having a great sarcastic energy to her. And that's all she has going on. Yep, the only things that's really weird. I feel like they could do more with her. So finally, on to our title characters! First off, Devil Dinosaur, played by Fred Talasuri. If you watch enough animation, you've heard Fred before. Like he's the go-to animated Hulk.
And?
Okay, he's Bullfrog in Star Wars is
And?
He's Yosemite Sam with some recent Looney.
And?
Taz, yes, Taz.
And?
What? Oh, it appears he's been in a few Scooby-Doo projects.
Yeah, baby, Scooby-Doo, let's go!
Where was I? I lost track. Okay, so going into the series, I thought Devil was going to be a hollow character. Just a cool dinosaur that the kids would want. But now I want him to. He is an absolute blast. Now, objectively, he's not the most deep character, but aw man, is he fun to watch. The best way to describe him is as a big dog. Now, I know that I'm a cat guy myself, but I don't care. He's a very good dog. He's ferocious and fierce on the outside, but he's really just one big goofball. He's a sweetheart with a heart of gold, he's a major hot dog enthusiast, and you can't help but get attached to him and his charming actions. His connection with Lunella feels very sweet and genuine too. He's protective of her, and she's protective of him, and you genuinely see how that connection allows them to be a great team, even if they have a weird disagreement now and then. That obviously, of course, brings us to Lunella herself, played by actress and singer Diamond White. Fun fact, White's audition was apparently so good that it was the only one that Steve Loader heard before committing to the casting, and that's just nice. Like I said, she's a genius who looks out for her community and family, but she's also impulsive, either getting involved or creating problems while trying to solve small inconveniences. Also, outside of her personal circle and the Moon Girl persona, she's a socially awkward mess, often feeling uncomfortable in new situations like a slumber party. It's really relatable, and that's epic. Okay, anyways, she's a good protagonist. Relatable, entertaining, she has lots of energy, so yeah, I enjoy her wacky antics. So, as for the episode structure and the writing itself, it's a bit predictable, not going to lie. If you've seen any episodes of the series, tell me if this sounds familiar. Lunella has an issue, typically a small inconvenience or a character fault that becomes front and center in her life. To deal with that issue, Lu jumps headfirst into it, typically resulting in the issue getting significantly worse, likely becoming a villain she has to face down as Moon Girl to learn a valuable lesson. Now, what episode is that? Is it A, the Bolo Bully, B, check yourself, C, here today, gone tomorrow, or D, skip this ad, or lessons? Please sit down and pick your answers right now. Yeah, it's all full. The second I started speaking, you should have known this. But I have to say, honestly, this doesn't bug me that much. Listen, I watched 4 seasons of Phineas and Ferb. I'm ready to eat 2 more up. And that show made scripts with a template. Moon Girl doesn't have that. It just has some easy to guess plot points, sure, but all of these episodes come from different places. The Bolo Bully is about ignoring rude and unfair criticisms. Check Yourself is about being able to have fun instead of always winning. Here Today is about loving yourself and ignoring a-holes. And Adolescence is about enjoying the little moments of life. They may all have similar setups, but these episodes come from different places. Plus, there's plenty of episodes that don't exactly fit this mold, including the Beyonder episodes. Now, the Beyonder has a character I had no knowledge of before the series, but he is one that Kevin Feige knew and personally suggested to be included, and let me just say, the Beyonder here is so good. Played by Lawrence himself, he's a clever trickster tasked with studying humanity, and since Lunella is the smartest person on Earth, possibly, it's the Marvel Universe, she's tasked with dealing with his antics. He's basically just here to cause her trauma and ruin her day, but he's funny while doing it, so I like seeing him do it. He's also a narrator of sorts, typically introducing the villain of the week, even in episodes before he's introduced, which is just nice. And circling back to the writing, it has a lot of funny moments, great pacing, and callbacks and foreshadowing which allow for nearly every episode to feel important. Not only that, but a lot of episodes cover some down-to-earth topics that allow the world Lunella exists in to feel real. Plus, nearly the entire series takes place solely in the Lower East Side of New York, which allows episodes to give off some of those friendly neighborhood Spider-Man vibes, which I love.
Oh my god, is that a callback?
Oh, you know it. Also, with the writing, even in episodes that don't feel important, these characters and villains are so charming that you don't want to stop watching. So, real quick, here's a list of the series' most iconic villains. Aftershock, the one from the pilot episode who's the only character who dies, which is neat. Angelo, cause he's just a child who goes into cyberbullying after getting infected by a symbiote. Also, he's voiced by Spectacular Spider-Man, so that's neat. LOS 307, they're a supercomputer who overheats and goes crazy and tries to kill our main character, but their only desire is making a friend, and that's wholesome and it leads to an emotionally sweet ending. Jennifer Hudson as Lunella's Hale. That's all I have to say.
Devil Dinosaur, attack! Devil Dinosaur?
Rat King. He's a mutated rat whose only goal is to get a pizza party. Also, he's voiced by the funny Hamilton guy, so that's fun. The Muzzlers, a couple who is uncomfortably obsessed with each other and gentrification, like to a ridiculous standard, which makes them terrifyingly real and comical. Odessa Drake, a social media criminal voiced by Disney Channel icon Anna Akana. Her appearance somehow brought Captain America to show up, so that's interesting. Torg, he's a big ape and he becomes friends with Devil, so more wholesome points going around here. And of course, we'll get back to you. See, they're all so good that I almost mentioned every single one of them, so now you gotta watch the whole series to see who I left out. I do think the villain selection is very interesting though, because it all comes from the comics, or at least most of it does. Some of these characters are really obscure though, to see them put in the limelight is really fascinating. But what are some of the other selling points of the series, you may ask? Well, great question. How about you use your eyes? If you're blind, I'm sorry, that joke wasn't targeted towards you, but my goodness, this animation. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur's animation is a mix of traditional 2D hand-drawn techniques and Toon Boom, with the bodies being animated traditionally and heads being rigged on via Toon Boom. And according to the animation lead, the animation has 3 primary rules. 1. Focal point. Character animations must draw viewers' attention. 2. Clarity. The action must be simple and direct. And 3. Quality. Simplification must be used as a design choice, not a limitation. So, in simpler terms, this show put a lot into its animation, and it really shows. It's a visual treat. Fishbone and other producers pushed for the series to look like a comic book, with edgy lines and imperfect shapes being the standard. One of the important inspirations of those techniques is, drumroll please, Into the Spider-Verse.
Another callback.
Yeah, I'm slaying this one, right?
For your standards, this is the slay.
Yay!
Your modern language baffles this gent, no blunt.
Anyways, they attempted to make the series complementary to Spider-Verse while also serving as its own original sting, so they tried to bring over some of that same energy while fitting in the restraints of a TV budget. And that's likely why I love this style so much. It feels so unique compared to a lot of series on air nowadays, especially on Disney Channel itself. There's so much style in every little detail here, and it's just a delight to look at, especially in the mixtape moments. Nearly every episode has one of these, when Moon Girl is fighting the bad guy, starts up some music, and fights to not only a killer soundtrack, but some insane changes in the color palette and animation style. These sequences are what I think sells the series, and they also are what gives me life. I adore these moments. They are so stylish, they are so colorful, smooth, satisfying. It's just I love everything about this. Whoever decided to add these to the series deserves all the props. These moments are just excellent. And of course, that partly is due to the amazing soundtrack present in the series. Compiled by Raphael Sadiq, Moon Girl's soundtrack is a mix of total bops meant to reflect that diversity in New York itself, and this album is great. Moon Girl's soundtrack is filled with some of the boppiest bops of all time. I don't think there's a single bad track on here. They all serve their purpose not only in the show, but outside of it as a song itself. They really work in both contexts. They're catchy, they're memorable, they are 100% getting on my Spotify Wrapped, and I don't think I can pick any tracks above the others. Let's get it. In the house, in light of my day, all the worst, where you come from, I came to play, and Pretty Girl Swagger the best. Man, that was hard. No songs here, even the more mediocre ones, ever feel like they are detrimental to the series, however. Songs either enhance a scene, or they are just not there. There was never a moment where I felt like the music was getting in the way of the emotion, unlike some other series. It's like a really good musical in that way, even if the characters themselves only sing like 5 times. And then of course, I'd be really mistaken to get through this whole thing without mentioning the killer intro. A lot of series nowadays have intros that are way too short or way too long, and they're completely void of lyrics, or the ones they do have are just a little bit too silly. Moon Girl Magic doesn't have these issues at all. Written based on songs like Girls Wanna Have Fun and the Lizzo song Juice, which is very apparent if you listen to them back to back, Moon Girl Magic is upbeat, it's catchy, it's fast, but perfectly paced, and it's just the right amount of silly needed for this series. The sequences tied to it are great, and we get the full thing on the album, so I have no complaints at all. Easily the best modern cartoon intro. So yeah, banger soundtrack, it's excellent stuff. And now, having talked about the cast, typical writing, animation, and soundtrack, I think the only real thing to talk about left is the overarching story. Skip to this time if you want to avoid my thoughts on some of the series' big reveals, alright?
But Mr. Cartoon Sir, I'm here physically. How can I avoid spoilers?
Well, you could just leave now.
That's inconceivable!
Okay, fine, just cover your ears and try to tune me out.
Oh, I'm great at that one.
Alright, spoilers in 3, 2, 1, and...
Mimi is the original Moon Girl?
So, when watching the series premiere for the first time, I picked up on a very minor and very small detail involving Lunella's grandma Mimi looking suspiciously too proud of Moon Girl in this moment here. Of course, that's really obvious, everyone noticed that. And of course, I took that to mean that she knew Lunella was Moon Girl. But that wasn't enough for me. So, taking the rough age of the original Moon Girl, or the OMG, into account, and eventually noticing that they were basically the same outfit, my mind was basically set on Mimi being the original Moon Girl. So, when watching this shocking plot twist in the 2-part season finale, OMG issue, my mind wasn't really as blown as it was satisfied with being correct. Some may say this is because the series is too predictable to a fault, but I think that's unfair to claim, as in the show itself, these details were actually pretty minor. Not Mimi knowing the secret, that's made obvious a lot, especially in episodes 1 and 10, but Mimi being the OMG is a bit more subtle. There's the outfits, of course, but besides that, I guess the only major hint I caught was Casey referring to her as a secret super genius in Coney Island, baby. And that's the final episode before the season finale. Plus, it's really just foreshadowing, so I don't think it counts towards the series being that predictable. But as for the actual plot, it starts with one line in Coney Island. After Lunella conquers her fields due to some Beyonder trauma, the Beyonder and Mimi suddenly talk for the first time. As he took her earlier in the episode, it's a whole thing, but the most important part is the final line.
They're coming for you, Mimi.
I wish it says it came out on Disney Plus. How did that scare me? So that's how we get to OMG issue number 1, aka the one where everything goes wrong. I guess I should specify, because the first 8 minutes or so are actually pretty fun. We got Maria Hill here, played by her same MCU actress and everything, meaning this is her final appearance before she dies. And we got some great chemistry between Lunella, Casey, and Devil. But after that... oh my. So, like I said, Mimi is revealed here to be the original Moon Girl, the OMG. She made the original version of the portal. Devil came through with this guy named Maris Moldarch under this group
Called the Enclave.
But after the others take credit for the walk, Moldarch goes a bit crazy, opens the portal, lets everyone presumably die, and then gives himself a leadership role. Survival of the fittest, am I right? So of course Mimi destroys the portal, leaves with the code, and now years later he's out for revenge. Now let me just say, Moldarch is an amazing villain. Like all great villains, his motives actually make sense at first. He just wants recognition, but his path to getting that is so crazy and harmful that it pushes the one person he was close with away. And in that villain role, he's cold as hell! After he discovers Lunella remade the portal, he not only sends countless soldiers after her to get it, but he also finds her family's wings, breaks into her base, ambushes her, and then takes her hostage to rebuild it. And she's a literal child! He knows this as well! He audibly says it!
And I'm not here to fight. I don't fight little girls. That's why I brought them.
He was fully willing to attack this child as long as he didn't lay hands himself. Absolutely insane behavior. So, of course, the portal gets destroyed, Devil's injured, Mimi and Lunella are taken hostage, Mimi sacrifices herself, and Moon Girl's base with Devil inside, well... You know, despite this tragedy, my first thought was about Casey. She was invited right over before any of this happened, and she doesn't appear until the next episode, and it's nighttime. What was she doing this whole time? Either she's the slowest walker in the world, or she was just hiding in the corners throughout the whole thing. I need a spin-off just about this one question. So yeah, this is an excellent episode. Despite already knowing the twists, the drama here was so captivating that I easily got past all of that, and I just enjoyed the insane ride, with great character moments, action, and one of the season's best mixtape moments. What a great opener for the season finale, which had no time to settle. Real quick rant here, as, in case you didn't know, to promote the series on Disney Plus, nearly the entire season released early here. Not weekly, no, of course not. Why would they do something as simple as that? Instead, they just dropped the whole season in 3 batches, with batch 1 getting a ton of promotion, and then nothing. Yeah, it was on the top of Disney Plus, but nothing here about the season finale. It was just there if you knew about it. It was basically just for fans, and these releases actively worsen the experience! The cliffhanger and foreshadowing doesn't matter as much if the cliffhanger's resolution is already there, up to watch immediately after finishing the episode. So why did they do this? You were doing some legitimate next day premieres. Just do that with this series instead of this jank message you tried. Please and thank you. Also, by the way, they had no other Marvel shows on. There was nothing it could possibly harm if it was releasing weekly. Why did they do this? Please fix it for next season. Thank you. OMG Part 2 is solid. The first half is really just a split between the team recovering and Mimi reminiscing. Wholesome stuff. And then the second half has some great team-ups and an insane cliffhanger. Wow. Having Lunella be the one to go through the portal was really unexpected, not going to lie. With the patterns of the characters the series likes to put in trouble, I could have fully seen Mimi or Devil heading in there. But Lunella herself sets up so many interesting story things that I can't wait to see. Like, we already have hints we could see Devil Girl or Moon Boy, plus she could be in Devil's Homeworld, and Moldarch is there too. How is she going to recover from that? I don't know, and I'm excited! Plus, how are Devil, Casey, and Mimi going to hide the fact that Lunella's gone? How are they going to hide the fact that Moon Girl is gone? What about the big fiery explosion they just walked away from? Is the entirety of New York on fire now? Is Lunella's house gone because that base was underneath it? Am I asking too many ridiculously specific questions? Yeah, pretty much, but this is a good cliffhanger! So yeah, well, I think the twist itself was a bit too easy to guess. I think the payoff it provides is well worth it, and it serves to deliver an excellent season finale. Unlike that stupid show about the dog kid, and I'm sorry, it's not stupid, it just makes me really mad.
May I bare my ears now?
Sure, I just have one final statement to make.
Oh, how stirring!
Hey, wasn't this guy trying to push us down the stairs just a minute ago?
Actually, I think it's been around a half hour, but judging by his behavior, I think he's changing for the better. Maybe we should give him a chance.
Like Steven, the universe?
Oh, that's stupid.
Have we been shoved down yet?
You know what? I'm going to ignore your comments. Because I believe in people, and he's a person too, and maybe everyone deserves a second chance, because redemption arcs are kind of cool, and maybe I've said too much and it's time I just get to the point. So, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Going into the series, I expected it to be good, but as good as it is, from the very beginning, it was apparent that this series was attempting to do something unique. One glance at its art style will reveal that, but man, I could have never expected how well it would pull it all off. Moon Girl hit me in a way I could have never expected. It became a major comfort series for me. I could still watch an episode I've seen a million times and it would still be entertaining for me. And that's because it practically does everything excellently. It's funny, it's charming, it's heartfelt, it got great characters with great chemistry, great storylines, its music to my ears, its animation is a sight to behold, and I just adore it, okay? Basically, Moon Girl's great. It's pretty much the perfect show. I have really no major complaints with anything it does. It delivers in the exact way it needed to. And I'm probably too obsessed with it, and that's okay. So, in a world where superheroes are everywhere and seemingly running out of steam in a lot of ways, I can only hope we can continue to get new, unique, and clever adaptations like this. Or at least just animated ones, because I would like that. But for now, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur rules. I cannot recommend it enough, and Devil Dinosaur for president.
Oh, marvelous! Bravo!
So Simon, stay away shovel, whatever you call yourself now, do you see the wonders of joy and how amazing it truly is?
Precisely. It's not a weakness at all.
Yeah?
And for this exact predicament, I will continue to shove y'all down the stairs as it brings me joy. Tee-hee!
Oh, that's not... Ethan!
Tell my pumpkin fiance I love her.
I don't even know the guy!
Tee-hee, tee-hee, as you can clearly see, the stairs are now below your feet. Now say goodbye.
Oh, thank God.
Wow, it's pretty great how we weren't the ones shoved.
Watch your back, SpongeLiam, as when I return, you'll fly because of me! Tee-hee-hee!
I don't even know you still!
Do you think he's okay?
E, are you okay?
No.
Yeah, I'll call the ambulance.